As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Cuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, we're talking about interviews and how, as the interviewer, you need to zip your lips. I know, this is a hard thing to do, and we're going to talk about why, but it's something that is so important if you want to have really effective interviews. So let's jump in and talk about why you need to be quiet during your interviews. As humans, we have this natural tendency to want to fill the silence. So if you ever notice, if you're in a conversation with somebody wants to fill that silence. Someone wants to keep the conversation going, especially if there was a question or something put out there. You know, there's that draw, there's that pull to fill the silence. And sometimes as interviewers, we go to fill the silence when it should be the interviewee talking. So what this can look like during an interview, and I was way guilty of this when I first started interviewing people, was you ask your interview question and then you keep on talking. You'll say things like, for example, or what I mean by this, or things like that, because you're filling the silence, but in your mind, you're doing it because you want the person to feel comfortable answering the question. You want to help them along. You want to be that kind person and put them at ease. And yes, there are all those reasons why you want to be kind and thoughtful and helpful during the interview. But guess what? None of that is actually producing the results that you want. So instead, to get the thing that you want, you need to ask your question and then zip your lips. When we keep talking, we do this thing that ends up being like leading the witness. We start telling the candidate directly or indirectly what it is that we want to hear. As a result, they start telling us what we want to hear instead of what might actually be their original answer. And in some cases, it could be that what they're telling us is not actually fully true, but the story that they're creating based on all the information we are providing them. So it's really important that you ask your question and then you're silent. Wait for the candidate to start talking. As we said, people naturally want to fill the silence, so they will eventually fill the silence from their side. They will eventually start talking. Some people take a moment to process internally before they start talking. So just because they don't start answering right away doesn't mean that they're not preparing to start answering. They might just need that extra internal processing time before they start speaking, while other people process through speaking. So your candidate might be getting ready to respond. And if you keep talking, you're just giving them more information that's going to delay when they can start talking because you're giving them more to process. So you ask the question, you zip your lips, you wait for them to start talking. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't answer clarifying questions. So if your candidate says, well, do you mean X or Y? You're welcome to answer. Maybe some cases it'll be like, yeah, please give us example in the Y category, or what we mean is X, or, it could be either. Sometimes you're looking to see what do they know about this. So that question is actually going to be really helpful for you to determine, do they even know what we're talking about, to see, do they have this knowledge? So sometimes what you're going to get after that silence and what questions they ask is going to be really beneficial and to your advantage, where if you just provided all the information up front, you're never going to know if they have the knowledge that you're really looking for. So once again, you can answer their questions if they have a clarifying question, but other than that, zip your lips. As we always suggest here at Growing Your Team, and as we provide our clients, you should have an interview guide. So those words on that paper should be what you ask. You ask those questions, you zip your lips, you listen to their answer. Then you move on to your next question. Yes, it's okay to ask follow-up questions. Yes, it's okay to ask a follow-up question that's not on the paper if they said something and you need to clarify, but don't get into a lot of that talking because you're trying to be helpful. There are other ways to be helpful throughout an interview. So for example, I was once interviewing a candidate who was really, really nervous, so nervous that you could see that she was shaking. And it was just putting in that additional reminder of, just breathe, take a moment if you need it. We're in no rush. We have time to get through the questions. Just relax. And just that additional reminder helped her get into a good flow because she realized that we were on her side to listen to her answers and everything and not trying to rush her to answer. So there are other ways you can help candidates in an interview that doesn't involve talking after you ask your question. This does take practice. Like I said, for me, I would immediately start jumping in and wanting to help people in whatever way possible in order to support them and get them to answer the question and make sure they fully understood the question. And it like I said, it didn't help. And I had to consciously tell myself, stop talking. Just wait for their answer. And even me, I am more of a quiet, introverted person. And to me, I had to do that. So I'm assuming if you're listening to this and you're a very, very talkative person, this might be even harder for you to do. But sometimes we have to do hard things in order to get the best results. So once again, ask your question, zip your lips, wait for the candidate to answer. And you got this. Trust me, it will produce way better interview results than if you just keep talking. So try it out in your next interview and let me know how it goes. Because I promise you, even though it's hard, it is 100% worth it. And it's an interview technique that you need to learn to have as you go to hire people for your small business. Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then let's talk and see how growing your team can help you master the art of hiring. Through bespoke hiring frameworks and comprehensive guidance, you will learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire and the skills needed to succeed. At Growing Your Team, women entrepreneurs and leaders work with us to help them expand their unique businesses by teaching them how to hire like a pro. Let's connect and see how we can help you. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, Jamie, @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart, with jumpstart being all one word, and let's talk about how you can become a confident leader who hires right every single time.